Hello and welcome to the Inside CI podcast for Tuesday the 14th of June 2026. I'm your host Stuart Burgess, and with me as always is my co-host Mr. Simon Gregory. Simon, how are you?
I'm very well, Stuart. Good afternoon. I'm a little bit hot because it's a very hot day out there today, but I'm in an air-conned office, so it's not too bad. So I'm trying to stay in here as much as possible.
Yeah, well, I'm not in an air-conned office. I am really hot because we've just done about 20 minutes of the podcast and realised I hadn't pressed the record button. So
there is that.
So I'm even more looking forward to getting out and jumping in my ice bath, which is now 20 minutes defrosted.
It pretty is melted completely, and that's what the heat does to you. Your brain goes a bit doolally.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. We're probably going to start mounting, or I'm going to start mounting as we do this podcast. So what have you been up to? Have you been up to any interesting jobs? Have you been playing with some new kit?
Yeah, so we've had some, I think, discussed that on the previous podcast, but we had some garden audio issues around a client's house, which we actually simplified completely. We actually brought that right the way back. There was an outdoor sat sub system that we put out there about 9 years ago, and a waterproof TV system, and the client is away quite a lot, works abroad, so we actually scaled it back to quite a big issue, really. So we kind of wanted to make it easier for the client. We listened to what the client's needs and requirements were, and just went back to sort of the old school customer service. So that's what he wanted, that's what we were going to do. So what we did was ripped speakers out. They'd all been eaten by ants, and I think the kids had kicked them over as well. So I was told by the gardener the other day, the client denied all knowledge, but the gardener's like, oh, I saw the kids kicking that speaker. So the satellite speaker had been destroyed. And we got a Sonos amp, which had some in-ceiling speakers, which worked really well, and then two Move 2s. So we got those out there as a stereo pair, put them either side of the swimming pool. Client was more than happy, sounded pretty good. Obviously didn't get the bass levels as you would with the in-ground sub, but much easier to use. The client could bring them in and out. They're pretty much waterproof. When we did do it, it was the hottest day of the year, like 35 degrees. So even my arms were sweating. So I did actually bring them back under cover after a while, but sounded really good. You put them into the group, so the pool area and the bar area, and got it sounding really good. We swapped over the waterproof TV as well, which again done 9 years, so done fairly well. And we put an entry level, well, not really entry level, I think it was an RGB LED in there, but from Hisense.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So it was a 55-inch Hisense, had all the built-in apps. So for the World Cup, BBC iPlayer, ITVX, really bright as well. I think the brightness went up to 1600 nits. So from 500 to 1600 nits. So we changed the settings for that. Also had a bit of anti-glare as well, which obviously helped outside, even though it was under a bar area. But yeah, picture was really good. Sounds great. It's even got a subwoofer built in the back of the telly, which I didn't realise. And I was setting it up, and I turned it on and pressed Netflix, and I was making sure that her fingerprints were on the screen. So I went quite close to it, to that, and the Netflix sound went up. Oh my goodness, it made me jump. I was like, so, but yeah, client's really happy, and it works a treat.
Well, I think that's it. We've got a client that we've just had. I mean, it was earlier this year. We had a control systems, their own matrix go wrong. I mean, job's probably nearly 10 years old, so it's been good. And I looked at how she works and lives in the house, and we just looked at it and went, do you know what? I'm just gonna put 4 zones of Sonos in. We're a little bit too early for the app multi, so
yeah, that's September, isn't it? I believe September time.
I'm not sure. I think I mean we're talking with Sonos at the moment about doing some publicity around it on Inside CI. So, but I'm still waiting for them to come back to me and announce it, really. But no, I mean, we've put those in there because one of her main things was she wanted integration between Amazon A and Apple Music. And I know the integration between Apple and Sonos is really good. So, because I did a friend sort of neighbour system around here last year. It was only a couple of like their portable speakers, but she just walks in there and says, play Apple Music Classical, and it just works. It just plays. So I think there is definitely a feeling within the industry at the moment that some people are just go for the not the easier option, but something that might, be less hassle, maybe cost a little bit less than a full-on multi-system matrix type thing. And also the fact is that, if one amp goes wrong, it's only going to send, you only got to send away that one amp to be repaired. So yeah, and I mean, and Simon, who works with both of us, I think he just put some of the new moves, the smaller ones, in the garden, and he's loving them.
Yeah, they are really great for their size and for their money. You can't go wrong, and a little bit more cost effective for the client. And so especially at the moment, things are pretty expensive. So yeah, save money where you can, and say if the client's happy, then yeah, we're happy. So and yeah, hopefully get more work out of it. Really, that's the bottom line of it.
And I hear you had a guest yesterday. You had Mr. Ben Lancaster from Brisella over.
Yes, Brisella, Ben, come to see me. So I haven't seen him for a while, obviously, since his health scare. But no, he looks really well, and yeah, fighting fit, which is really good. And brought over the new P8. So obviously we saw them at ISE for their 20th anniversary. But this is new. Actually, the speaker that he showed us was a prototype, but so we couldn't actually listen to it. But they are available now. So the new P8 is completely in sealed case as well, so it's completely molded and it looks stunning. So a brand new drive unit, and yeah, it looks really, really good, and the depth of that is really good as well. So it's easily mountable behind sort of false baffled wall and things like that. But he come over to see me. I'm just going to read you a little bit about that as well while we're here. Yeah, so yeah, 20-year anniversary, as I just said. So the P8 is the heart of the Brisella line. The P8 is capable of stunning reproduction of the full dynamic range of 96, 24-bit music and film soundtracks. It comes with its custom performance 8-inch mid bass, so they are brand new. It's one of the guys at Brisella have been listening to lots of different drive units, and this is brand new out on the market, and this is one they preferred. So it's got like a little drawing on the front, so like a little symbol kind of thing going on, so it looks quite sexy. But yeah, so really good identical voice crossovers for the price, so precise timbre matching, and yeah, THX certified as well, so you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I remember when we were out, obviously at IC, doing the video with them, and we were talking about how they sort of get the different drive units and they get the different woofers for the subs, and they just test the ones they like and then go back and tweak it, and then eventually, with lots and lots of R&D, they come up with the finished speaker, which obviously Ben brought to show you yesterday.
Yeah, so the off-axis dispersion is really good as well. They're actually was quite interesting. They're actually doing the testing as we speak to what the speaker is capable of. But what they're actually doing is doing it in real world scenarios, and that could be really good or it could be really bad depending on other manufacturers' designs and specifications. So as we know with RP22 and off-axis dispersions and everything that the speaker can do, not every single situation is the same. So if you've got it in your dedicated showroom, it's going to sound fantastic. But in the client's room, does it sound the same? Are you getting the same reading? So they're actually doing it in sort of real world scenarios, and they're just waiting to see how that compares to what's going on. Obviously, it would sound fantastic, but if the levels are down compared to another competitor, do you see what I mean? Do they then, okay, if you can't beat them, join them kind of thing? They're trying to do it as a most realistic, natural environment possible. So that was quite interesting to hear. So they will be out very soon, and yeah, you'll get to see and hear those specifications as soon as we know.
Well, I'm hoping. I know we sort of spoke at IC about potentially going over and doing a video with them around the Immerso system.
Yeah, that's been installed now as well. So that's just outside their main demo room, just on the left-hand side as you go in. So that's ready to go. I think they're still tweaking it, to be fair, but yeah, that's going to be a big thing with that, I believe.
Well, it's definitely something that is sort of getting on to one of my bits and pieces. I went to the press day last week, I think it was, as we record. I went to AWE Expo's press day on the Monday, and they've had I think it's 165-inch CLED Sony wall put in there, and that
did look very stunning.
It's amazing. I mean, what you didn't see was, I think, the photographs that a lot of us took at when Stuart was talking, and they were showing you some sort of obviously some 4K rendered images. But once the sort of press day finished, or people have sort of finished around the screen, they turned on, I think it was Sky Stream, and they put on like what would have been yesterday's Grand Prix at the time. They put on the F1 on it, and like everybody's like, I know the result because it was yesterday, but this is bloody amazing.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
What's the heat generating from that? Because every time I've sort of encountered a media wall from Samsung or whatever, the heat is pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean, we redid a room which had a Samsung wall put in it. Okay, it was very early, and it was for a certain ex-Premiership footballer that played for Chelsea. Funny enough, the company sponsored, didn't they? I think. So, and that kicked out some heat. I mean, that's getting like this office now. No, I mean, I don't really know. I'll be brutally honest with you. I mean, we're trying to get back there in a few weeks to do a video with James and with Sony, because I want to sort of talk about it and do an example of how it goes together and things like that. I mean, I was by the screen quite often during the day, and never did I sort of walk past it and think, blimey, that's got some heat coming out of it. So I don't think...
Not back in like the old days with plasma when, was it Andy Peters kissed the screen and burnt his lips? Please, don't try that though, Stuart.
But no, it was, I mean, I'm hoping to get back up there in a few weeks, do that. But obviously, also because I do the gaming podcast with Stephen as well and Anthony, I might actually take my Xbox up there and put on a bit of Forza Horizon 6 and a bit of Call of Duty or Fortnite or something like that, and gather some footage for that. Although Yadib did tell me you can't bring an Xbox and put it on a Sony TV. You've got to bring a PlayStation. And I'm like, no, all my content's on an Xbox. I'm not bringing the PlayStation.
No, I don't blame him, but no, that would work really well with either console, to be fair. And Forza would look stunning. I'm sure.
So watch out. I mean, obviously we'll discuss it on a pod, future pod, and then we'll also put it across social and bits and pieces like that. So no, I mean, I've been sort of out and about, really. I mean, Monday just gone, I was with Together Cinema down at the Oak Haven Hospice in Leamington. So that was a nice drive down to the West Country on Monday morning. That was a nice room. It was, I want to say it was a 75-inch Sony TV, monitor audio, surround system, in like a media wall style setup. That was done by Adam at Art of Integration. He sort of did the install with that. That was just a nice little room. I think they were still waiting for the grant to come through for the chairs, but it was nice because it's these little rooms or these bigger rooms. They just provide so much respite for the patients that are in there for the day or for the week or whatever, and they can go in there and watch a film or play some games and bits and pieces like that. So we got, as normal, we did the videos, we did the photography, so you'll probably see those trickling out if you follow Together for Cinema on all social medias. Over the next week or so, you'll see that coming out. Teresa and Ian putting that up. But no, it was a fantastic day.
Oh, nice! It's a nice respite for the whole family as well, isn't it? Really, it's can't get to the cinema, so they're really worthwhile calls, and I'm sure not an easy thing to see. To be fair, so I think that's what Ian always says, that he always comes away in tears sometimes, but it's so beneficial for everybody involved.
Yeah, I think they're just. I remember when I went to my first one last year, and like my wife said to me about, this is going to be very different. You're not going to like this, and I came away from it, and I was chipper because we met one of the young kids who uses it to play to play FIFA on. We met another one of the girls who uses it all the time to watch Titanic, and yeah, if you look past the elements, if you look past the reason why they're there. Fundamentally, they're kids who just enjoy it, and if they've got to go there for whatever reason, if there's something like a cinema room there to take their mind off of whatever they're doing there, treatments or whatever like that, or daycare, it's just escapism. And we said this the other day, this is why I love cinema, this is why I love gaming. It's escapism. You escape for however long it is into your own little world, and I think this is what they find those rooms to be.
Yeah, no, it's definitely great for the kids and the whole family, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, so obviously that AW Expo was really, really good. They launched the online Smart Home Academy. So they used to do the Smart Home Academy in person, but obviously because of COVID, it sort of stopped. They've now developed that along with a lot of brands to actually be an online academy now, which is I think they're planning to launch it this month.
So how's that going to work? Obviously, dealers would log into the academy and be trained or on the products they're selling, or
Yeah, so basically, it's like I don't know. I'm trying to. I suppose it's like I did a PCNA course with Control 4 years ago, and in this case, you got sent a bundle. You bought a bundle of stuff. You put it on your test bench at the office, and then you just followed what was going on the screen with the kit, what was in front of you. Now, I think what AWE have done is less about the kit. It's more about the product. So do more online learning about the products, and then online training on certain scenarios where you can quite easily learn it without someone standing over your shoulder. So maybe not like advanced programming of a URC, but how do you set up a one room system, or how do you lens shift a Sony projector? How do you timbre match a set of speakers and things like that. So they announced it. They were sort of like saying it's going to come this month. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a login and have a look, really.
yeah, no, exciting, because sometimes you do need that. I mean, I was doing a lot of that during COVID, and it sort of seemed to have been forgotten about since COVID has finished. So bringing that back is probably a really nice idea. And some people don't like that environment. It's I was speaking to one of the guys, and he was dyslexic, so he got really nervous about sort of typing things in and doing all that kind of stuff. And you said somebody looking over your shoulder is always a bit like, well, have I done this right? Or somebody's always better than me. And it's almost going back to school, isn't it? When you're doing an exam or somebody asks you a question, you don't want to put your hand up. But yeah, no, it's a really hopefully that works well for the guys at AWE.
Yeah, I mean, I think they call it a kinesthetic learner. So I'm always one of those people that if you send me stuff and I get to play with it and install it in my own time, at my own office or even in my own lounge. I mean, much to my wife's annoyance, many, many, many times have I refitted the AV rack in the lounge with a new network or a new CCTV or a new streaming system, because for me, I want to, okay, so not so much now, but in my integration days, I wouldn't sell it to a client unless I had a chance to play with it myself.
No.
So to be able to log in, I mean, I think it was Control 4. They did a thing called Smart Skills, which was like, 5, 10, 15, 20-minute courses where you could say, oh, do you know what? I've got half hour free before X, Y, and Z. I'll jump in and learn a skill on something. And I think those type of platforms will work really, really well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was similar to you, but it was Crestron Prodigy. If you remember that when it came out all those years ago, and I got it and I brought it back to the office. Spent 2 days trying to program it. I was like, right, I've got this. Took it to clients. It was the 12-seater cinema we did. Put it into that. Nothing didn't work. So what's going on? So as it was brand new for the Prodigy from Crestron, the guys come over. Even he couldn't do it. So even he was struggling. He must have been there for like 2 days trying to get it to work as well, which kind of made me feel a little bit better about myself. But I'm like, hang on, I've just wasted 2 days on this trying to work out what it's doing. And even one of the pros can't do it either. So, but it's nice to know in the ins and outs of a product. So if they do go wrong or whatever, but sometimes I think, oh, what was the point?
Well, I mean, even being in this industry for 20 years, up until I sort of stepped more away from integration just recently, I was always doing some courses. I was always going. I mean, I mentioned one in the news, but I went on a networking course just a month ago to look at a new network. So I think there's so many new products out there. There's so much new stuff to look at. I think if you could look at it at the comfort of your own home or your own desk or your own office, and then if you like it, go and learn a bit more about it. I can't see there being a negative to that.
No, and there's always demo deals, isn't there, going around? So they try and get you to buy that product, and the more you know about it, the more you're going to sell. So
yeah,
it's a win-win.
Definitely. So yeah, the other thing was yesterday, as we record this, was the CEDIA Tech and Business Summit in London. That was a very hot, sticky affair. Not so much in the summit, but coming back out of the summit later on.
It was a hot day. It's I knew it was in July, but I didn't realise it was so early in July. And then Ben had said, "Oh, can I come and see you?" I was like, "Yeah, no problem." I thought, well, if he's coming to see me, then nothing else is going on. But even he didn't realise either. So
no, I mean it was a great day. I mean, I think there was about 40 vendors there. and there was a good turnout of integrators. There was a mixture of people there, fellow professionals, integrators, a few sort of like, I think they had some students come around like before as well, which is quite good to see the inside of our industry. But no, I mean, it was really, really good. I got to have some good conversations with people, got to see a few new products.
Well, anything new, anything exciting that you saw?
So there's lots of nice new bits and pieces. You know, Andy and Nikki there from Moss, who were showing off Motif, the Nico stuff that we looked at ISE.
Oh, yeah.
The guys at Crestron were showing off the new switches, the new wall switches, which I think we've just I think the guy that we've been helping on a Crestron job, he's just installed those, and they are stunning. They look really, really swish. But no, I mean, there was, Janus Technology were there. They were showing off their building management system, the energy monitoring, which we've recently done a video with Richard for awards entry that he's putting forward. So, we had a quick bit of I mean, that place I went the other day, I mean, I can't put it on the screen at the moment because it's footage of theirs, but I will put it up at some point. I've never seen so many pipes in a house doing like solar. So what was it? It was solar. It was bore heating, and then it was air conditioning and just this whole wall of pipes. It was amazing.
Mario would be very happy with that.
Yeah, and then obviously Jason Aldous was there showing the Swiss Army knives of all of his collection, and
yeah, they've got some cool stuff coming up. There's new HDMI units and things that I saw the other day. They look pretty special for any problem solving. But they do some cool stuff there.
Yeah, and I think that's what it was. It was just, for me, it was just always a nice place to go. Obviously, I went there with a slightly different hat on this year. But it was still nice to go along and see the products, talk to the people, see some of the faces that you don't generally see everywhere. Like Zach from Mega, I only ever really see him at Senior Awards or a business summit, but it's always like, "How you doing, mate? How you going?" Because you see each other's social media posts. So it was a great networking.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's social media. You see their faces on social media. You're like, "Oh yeah, I saw you the other day," and I was like, "No, I'm not seeing you since I see or something last year." But that's the problem with social media. You see people's faces and you think you bumped into them a couple of weeks ago, but it wasn't.
Yeah, which again sort of brings me on to my next subject, really, which was the fact that the EI Live has been cancelled, for 2026, which is
2026. Yep.
Yeah, which is a massive shame, because it's. I know the guys were trying something new, but talking to Ian and David yesterday, they had some really interesting people, like reserve, as in visitors, to come in rather than exhibitors. But there just didn't seem to be the call for it this year, or people committing to it, and it's a shame, because I can remember when CEDIA stopped the expo in the UK, and then we went for several years without a show, and we're in that position again. This is the last Tech and Business Summit for 2026 London, so technically we've not really got a non-distributor based show. So I mean, obviously people like AWE and all the others are going to have those shows, but somewhere like the somewhere like the summit yesterday, where you go see different vendors, you can go and have a chat, you can go and have a laugh, and that was always the highlight of September. And it's just a bit, to be honest, it was a bit annoying for me in respects of we have the expos, we have the summits, and people don't go to them, rightly, because they want to earn some money for their business. But if we don't go to these things will get cancelled, and then we just won't have them. And it's a shame, because the point of case is EI Live this year. We've not got it now.
No, it's a great shame for the industry. I think it's when I read the reports, I kind of wasn't surprised, but it was a shame that it's not happening. Again, I remember, as you were saying, when CEDIA stopped theirs when it was in Excel, and I was talking to the guys at Essential Install. And I thought, I think about doing a show. I thought, that's a good idea, because it was literally after Brighton, wasn't it? It was in Brighton for a bit, and that worked really well. Then went to Excel, and then David stepped up to the plate. So which I think it's been really good. But say going up to Birmingham, wasn't it? NEC. I know they tried to mix up the electrical retailers as well, which from Me personally, I thought it diminished it a little bit. I wasn't planning on going. To be fair, I know people up north probably would have done, because obviously down south it's a 2 hour journey for me. So and I think Mel took like 5 or 6 hours to get to the show last year. So it's quite a long way, and a lot of the distributors have got really nice showrooms. You say you went to the AWE one. That's a beautiful showroom. You got Pulse guys, they've got a nice showroom as well. So obviously they're trying to spend more money on doing those rather than a show. I know you're going to get different clients from that, but it is, you see somebody that you catch up with them. But for those bigger companies, you want new dealers, really, don't you? You want new customers and clients to sign up with you and see what you sell. So that I think will be a big loss for them all. But hopefully it's not the last. So next year, who knows where we'll be and what will be going on. The world might be a different place by then. It could be also worse. So we shall see. But somebody else might step up to the plate. Somebody else like Cedia might say, okay, we're going to do a show. I know they're obviously involved in ISE, but I'd be interested to see how many UK distributors actually go to ISE. There's got to be a number out there somewhere. How many CD members in the UK actually go? How many people within the UK who are distributors and sort of end users and things? How many of them go as well? So if CD could step up to the plate and do a show here, not just the tech summits, which I know are popular, but something on a bigger scale for everybody, I think could be really good.
Yeah, I suppose I like analogizing our industry of cars, and I suppose if you go to a BMW dealership, you're going to see a BMW car. If you go to the British Motor Show, or we got Goodwood coming up this weekend, you go to Goodwood Festival of Speed, you see lots of cars. So for me, I love going and seeing like the distributors like AWE or Monitor Audio or Habertech or CAVD or someone like that. But you see the brands they do. What was good about the tech summits? What's good about EI? And what is also good about ISE is that you could just peruse around many different speaker brands. I mean, I did speak to someone yesterday saying that they were toying with the idea of moving Resi into Hall 0, which is across the other side of the road.
Yeah, that was being built, wasn't it, last at the beginning of this year? But again, my concern would that be out the way of everybody else.
Yeah.
So how many people actually walk over that bridge and go in there? At least when it's in the main one of the main halls, you're kind of walking past or walking through, and you'll get people who want to go there, but you also get other people who are like, oh, what's that, and go and have a look. But if it's in Hall 0, or what the hell it's going to be called, I think that could be a game over for Resi at ISE.
Well, I think it's because I mean, like when you walked through from when you walked through from the main entrance, you walked into Hall 2. You had, if I remember rightly, you had like Control 4 or Snap, and then you had the group that Steinway, Lindorf, and Ascendo, and all those people were in as well. So even if you were walking into Hall 3 and Hall 4, you walked past Resi and you, okay, what's that? That looks quite interesting. But now if it's the other side of the road on a flyover, it's almost like Hall 8 where we went. It's almost like it's the other end. It's out the way. If you're not going to get those passing trades.
No, you're not getting those passing trades, and I think less Resi people will be inclined to do it, to be honest with you. And it could be the beginning of the end, but let's hope not, because it's the only show we've got. So that's obviously next year, 2027. So we should see what's happening. But it'd be interesting to see how many people have signed up for that from last year. I know people do sign up pretty quick and get their spot, as it were. But 2028 could be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, I booked my hotel. Well, actually, I booked our hotel because I've booked your room. We've just not paid for it yet. So I will be there with my publisher's shoulders on. So I'm definitely going to do some bits and pieces and some networking. I really wanted to go to Denver in September, but I just don't think that's going to work.
I thought Denver had finished. Was that not the last one last year? Was it this year?
Well, I know it's at Denver this year. I'm not sure, but it's definitely at Denver this year because I was looking at it literally today.
All right, so that will be the last one this year then.
I might jump over to do IFA. I've always fancied going to IFA, so I might just jump over to do IFA this year, which is a bit more consumer electronics, but I think that might be quite interesting. Just jump on an EasyJet over, do a couple of days. I think they have a press day before it, so try and get into the press day, have a bit of a wander, and go and see some of the the ether stuff. So that will be quite interesting.
Ether's fantastic. I've done that with another previous hat when I was doing Cine Now, and yeah, Sony took us out there, and it was yeah, it was amazing. It's over 11 halls, so it's big. You have to get a bus or a shuttle bus to get from one to the other, but it is like a massive airport. You think ISE is big, Ether is even bigger.
Oh, really?
But yeah, you got lots of white goods there and things, but obviously you got the main players there as well. So, and obviously Germany's pretty cool. We actually did a bus tour and had some nice food at the museum and stayed in a very posh hotel, courtesy of Sony. So yeah, Sony, if you're listening.
I think you've put me off when you said it's bigger. I don't think my knees can handle it. They barely handled the senior summit yesterday.
Yeah, get those knees sorted out. As I would not do EFA with your knees, not at all. And I'm not pushing you around in a wheelchair like Little Britain.
Yeah, no. I'll get myself an e-scooter and I could just zim around on a Segway or something like that. Put my L plates on it.
I could see an accident waiting to happen there, Stuart.
Right, excellent. So yeah, so that's what we've been up to. But yeah, just one thing from me. Just like, look, guys, whoever's listening to this, if you get invited to an expo, if you get invited to a summit, please go, because if we don't go to these things, then they won't bring the numbers in, and the people will cancel them. So I know we need to get out there. We need to earn money. We need to look after our clients. But if we could just get out and support these expos and these summits and these exhibitions, it means that they're there for us in the years that we don't go and the years that we do go. So I'll get off my preachy perch now, and we'll jump into the news. But before we jump into the news, if you're enjoying listening to this very podcast or watching this very podcast, please comment, leave a review, and subscribe. We do have a link within both the video and the audio, which is a fan mail link. So you can write in and send us some questions. If there's any subjects you want us to talk about, if there's anything you want to comment about, then please send it over. We sort of do some listeners' questions on the other podcast, the gaming podcast I do, and it's brought about some really interesting conversations. Like the one, completely going on a tangent, the one we had this week, which was really, really good, which was like, is it cheating to play games in easy mode? And it just brought some really, really good conversations. So if anybody's listening to this, you've got some interesting conversations like, why use Kaleidoscope against streaming and things like that, just write in, because there'll be some good conversations and we can get some people in to talk about it.
If you don't ask, you don't get. And the answer to your question is yes, it is cheating.
No, it's not cheating. I'm going to go and I played Doom this morning on easy mode and I was sweating after an hour. So I'm not playing that on nightmare mode. I'm too old.
It's there to challenge you. You're never too old for gaming. That's for sure.
See, there you go. We've had a gaming conversation on a Inside CI podcast. That's how well it works. But right, so on to the news. So Simon, the first story is with you, and it's about Kaleidoscope and their new Strato K movie player.
Yeah, so Kaleidoscope all of a sudden brought out a new player. So the Strato K supports 4K cinematic movie formats, but as well as 8K. So 8K movie formats, I believe from what we've read is the 4K will be up converted to 8K to give you that really crisp, crystal clear picture. And obviously we know the sound quality of the Kaleidoscope. It's uncompressed, sounds amazing. But yeah, looking forward to seeing this. It's Kaleidoscope is well known for its high fidelity movie ecosystem, combining dedicated hardware with a download-based movie store that delivers films with lossless audio and reference quality video. The platform offers thousands of movies, TV scenes, and concert recordings available in formats ranging from 2K and 4K through to 4K cinematic options. And 8K, should it gain traction, which I quite like, alongside Dolby Atmos and DTS immersive soundtracks.
Yeah, I think for me the one thing that really stood out well for me just looking up at the article was according to Kaleidoscope, the 4K cinematic, it was the new 4K cinematic format, which they basically say, according to Kaleidoscope, the 4K cinematic provides high bitrate and supports full chroma reproduction up to 444, delivering greater color information, image detail than exists in 4K video formats. I know a lot of people are going to listen to this podcast and go, oh, Jesus, they're going back on about 8K again. But actually, point and case is the big screen that we saw at Sony, the Sony screen we saw at AWE the other day. the big screens that we saw out at ISE from Brisella, from Barco, they're all the screens are getting bigger and bigger, and they're large format LED screens. So actually, if we can take a 4K signal, sample it up to 8K, then we will have more pixels per square inch, and we'll get a bit better picture on these bigger screens.
Yeah, you're definitely getting much bigger screens. So we've been quoting 116-inch TV screens, say taking out projector and a screen with that. And with 8K on a projector, or even 4K, a lot of people don't realize when you've got a micro perf or a woven screen, you're not getting that full 4K resolution because of the actual screen you're using.
Yeah.
Obviously, a woven screen is a lot better. But as you said, with that Sony CLED screen that you saw, 4K will look good. 8K, you'll get the full benefit of that. Whether you get the same kind of benefit on a projector screen, I don't think you do. I really don't. I do believe those bigger screens will need to look the best they possibly can. And from what I've seen so far, they definitely will. I thought a lot of TV companies had stopped doing 8K personally. I thought they'd given up with that, and I wasn't too sure the human eye can actually see 8K. But if it looks better, who cares?
Well, I think initially when like your main brands, your Sonys and your Samsungs were all sort of dishing them out, I think they were saying that it really was 75 or 85 inch and above is the point of reference that you really, before you really see any gain in 8K on the screen. And I'm with it. I mean, I've got a 77-inch OLED downstairs. You're talking to a client at the moment about 116-inch. You know, a few years ago, we did a 100-inch Sony. Okay, I know it was a 4K screen, actually, because it was one of the professional ones. But so our screens are getting bigger. Our standard size now is 55, 65 inches, where if I go back 20 years ago when I first started in this industry and I was hanging and banging TVs for Sony, 46 was a big TV. You know, forget about 55 or 65 was freaking huge. But now you can go to Costco and pick up a 77-inch, you know, LED TV for 1,500 notes. Probably not even that much in some circumstances.
Not even that. No, some of the Hisense tellies, and they are almost too cheap. I refuse to sell the ones that are too cheap, but
Yeah.
even that one we did in the outdoor bit, it wasn't a proper glass screen. Let's say that the picture looked fine and it sounded great, but the screen itself wasn't the best quality that I've seen. The picture was absolutely perfect. Don't get me wrong, but the build quality, I could pick it up quite as a 55-inch, and I could pick it up quite easily with my little muscles that I don't have. But we have a price also on the Strato K.
Oh, wait there. Go on in.
Ta-da! So the price, I heard rumours it's about £5,500, but the actual price that I have seen recently is £5,395.
Okay, that's good. I mean, and looking at the screen in front of us, it comes with a 1 terabyte solid state drive, so that's a good one. I mean, I can't think what I've got downstairs now in my one, but you also can pair it with one or more of the Terra movie servers. So yeah, you know, you could start off with a 1 terabyte, upgrade, and then get all your movies on there. So that seems to be quite a good price.
Yeah, 1 terabyte is pretty good, to be fair. But for 5395, 4K, awesome uncompressed audio, and the possibility of 8K, I think it's a great solution. To be fair, I think getting that into a client's cinema, dedicated cinema, I would say, or big screen media room, I think that's pretty impressive, to be honest.
And if you'd come to the summit yesterday because you weren't seeing Ben, you would have seen it there because it was sitting on the desk, and I got all touchy feely with it.
Was it tiny? It looks quite small. It looks quite.
It's about, if I look at my Strato S that I've got downstairs, it's probably a third of the third. It's probably about a similar depth, but about a third of the width. So yeah, I mean, okay, that's got a 6 terabyte hard drive in it, I think, but solid state, so it's still small. But no, I mean, you could easily get, you know, the 8K in one side and get a Terra server in the other side, and you're probably just taking up no more than about 1U in a rack, 2U tops if you want a bit of ventilation. But Yeah, no, it's a great little player, and hopefully I could tear one out of someone's hands at Pulse Vision, and we can get one in the showroom and have a little play with it. I'm looking at you, Simon Gibb.
You need to do an unboxing video, Stuart. They're the best. But yeah, Kaleidoscope are now accepting orders through its authorised dealer network. So I don't know when they're actually out, to be fair, but it's out very soon. And yeah, get those orders in if you're interested, or even a demo. The best thing is to do with those is a demo. That's the bottom line of it. Take it to a client's house and show them the difference, and yeah, they'll be blown away.
Well, I know I've sold. So when I got rid of the showroom or moved across the road, a few of my clients that obviously I knew very well, and they'd already spent money with me, I gave them my Strato S for the weekend and said, look, it's full of movies, just play with it what you will, and I'll come back and get it middle of next week. And literally every time I did that, one of them bought one of it. So it's certainly worth getting a demo. And obviously, if you've not got a showroom, reach out to the guys at Pulse, give Simon or Tom a ring, and get up to Stansted and go and have a look at it in their showroom if they've not already got it fitted, or when they get it fitted.
So what other news you got then, Stuart?
So the next one was something that I saw come up on socials yesterday, but I forwarded it over to our editor Steve to put it up on the website because as an integrator or an ex-integrator, for me it was really, really bloody important. And the amazing guys, Alan and his team at Chow Mein Soft, has introduced a SkyStream IP driver for Control 4.
At last, hooray!
I mean, I think we previously mentioned him. Zach, I think, commented on my Instagram post earlier, which was like, finally. So anybody who doesn't...
I thought you were going to say something else there. So I didn't think we swore on this podcast.
No, we don't. We're a family-friendly podcast-ish. So they've now finally been able to do an IP driver, a Control 4 at the moment, Control 4 IP driver for SkyStream. So you can get rid of those little buds off the front of your SkyStream boxes. The new driver has been developed to provide full IP control of SkyStream boxes, eliminating the need for the infrared emitters on most installs, whilst delivering a faster, more reliable operation across the local network. The driver supports navigation, transport controls, and menu functionality. The only thing just to point out is the driver also supports Wake on LAN functionality on compatible SkyStream hardware, enabling the network to wake it up on LAN where possible. In here somewhere, I've lost it now. Chow Mein Soft cautions that some earlier SkyStream devices were unable to wake reliably on IP because of the hardware limitations. In these cases, an IR emitter can be still required to do the power on and power off, but then the IP control can take over subsequent control. And even better news is that if you're an existing user of the Sky Plus HD Sky Q driver from Control 4, the SkyStream driver is a free update. All you need to do is head back over to Alan's website at Chow Mein Soft, download the new version of the driver, swap that out on your Control 4 system and within your projects, and Bob's your uncle. You've now got SkyStream driver for your Sky customers, and you can get rid of the IR buds.
Fantastic news. That's what you want. And what is as some comfort is it has worked with all the other Sky boxes, as you said, Sky Q and Sky Minis and things like that. But what is interesting about the hardware that Sky seem to be doing, I'm sure they're pushing more out than recently than ever before. Well, I was watching the football during last week. I think it was actually the England game, and brought my Sky Mini box in the house into the cinema room that we've got here, and didn't work on 1080p. Oh. Sorry, the higher resolution UHD.
UHD, yeah.
Didn't work. So the screen was a beautiful picture, went blank, come back on, went blank, went back on. Get blank. I'm like, obviously got your friends around. I was like, Simon, what is going on? So dropped the resolution down to 1080p, and it was fine. But previously, it has worked no problem at all. So I don't know what's going on there, whether it's an EDID issue or an HDCP issue going on, but did not like UHD at all.
Oh, that's interesting.
Through a projector. That was that was through an Anthem amp and Sony projector. Also, I've had a client with a similar issue. So we were going to get him a Bluestream MC11, I think it's called, little
Yeah.
little box to try and sort those issues out. But again, I said, look, drop the resolution, change the HDMI cable. But in my office, it had worked before, which was interesting.
Well, yeah, I always thought minis were 1080 only. I didn't think they supported 4K. I thought it was only the Sky Qs that supported 4K.
So I'm talking about the stream boxes.
Oh, sorry, stream boxes. Ah, okay,
The
right.
stream boxes.
Yeah.
So the mini boxes. You're
Right.
100% correct. But the stream boxes obviously do UHD, which is great for obviously us guys because you can have it in the main house and having a dedicated cinema room and have 4K in there all around the house. So that does work. But I do believe they've been doing quite a few hardware updates on those
Right.
boxes recently. Hence why they're probably saying about the LAN and obviously the older legacy box is not working. So, but if all the others work, then they're going to work with those. But to do it for free is pretty good.
Well, we've got our Sky Q box downstairs keeps on like pooing the bed without swearing. So I have toyed with the idea of going SkyStream, but always what's put me off is the IP and not having IP. So was literally on Sky's website today looking at going, do you know what? I might just order one of the boxes on I think it's a 30-day rolling contract. You can take it out. So and have a play with it on the Control 4 system here with the new driver for 30 days to see what I get. So we'll see. Have a play.
It's not as good as Sky Q though. It's definitely not. And obviously the recordings, people like that, and the interface I think is better. But for instance, if I'm going through movies, which is on 301, and then you press up to go to 302. But if you get like your pin, so I've got the older movies obviously pin protected. So you press back up and you go press up again, it goes down.
Oh, really?
So when you press up, it goes down, and when you press down, it goes up. Very annoying. I don't know what's going on, but it's a big bugbear of mine to say the least. I'm like, well, because you're pressing up, you're going 302, 303, 304. But then as soon as the pin comes up, you press back up, press up again, it goes back down to 303, 302, 301. So why that is, I have no idea. So good luck with Control 4. If I can't do it on the remote, then Control 4 might struggle.
So Simon, the next story is with you about Screen X.
Yes, I'm very excited about this, Stuart. I've said this for a long time. Something like this will be the future of home cinema and cinemas in general. So Screen X is the world's first multi-projection cinema with an immersive 270-degree field of view. So basically what it does, you have your big screen at the front, not as big as IMAX, but pretty big, and it expands the viewing frame. So you get screens either side of the actual main screen. So you're fully immersed, and the audience are directly in the center of the story, creating a visually immersive viewing experience unlike any other. So you're completely, with Atmos, you're immersed with sound and everything like that. What they're trying to achieve is you've got the big screen at the front, but also the sides can incorporate part of the movie. So what I saw was a Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man film that's coming out. There's a big scene that I think you've probably all seen. Spoiler alert! You've all seen the trailer of that where he's in prison and he's fighting some I can't remember what they're called, but they're fighting the guys with the swords. But actually, they are in front of you and around the side of you as well. So I think it's going to be pretty big. I've said this a couple of years ago, I think, on another podcast or magazine, that I do believe something like this will be the future. And we were talking about earlier, you've got the big screen, so 116-inch screen. You imagine pretty much what you saw, similar to what you saw at the Wow House. I think they had screens all in the ceiling and that, something similar to that. But obviously they're trying to keep it with keep the interior designers happy. But I think if you had the immersiveness of a big screen at the front and screens around the side, if your room can cope with that, obviously, I think that's going to be pretty impressive, and I can't wait to go and see something like that in a dedicated cinema or a dedicated home theatre. But yeah, I think that'd be really good. But yeah, Screen X.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the story earlier, I was like, what is this he's put up? And then I sort of saw the screen and I thought, okay, is this another sphere? Is this another sphere where it's going to be concerts, it's going to be, flying through space or deep under the sea? And then I go to, screenxtickets.com, and you've got Toy Story 5, you've got Supergirl, you've got Minions and Monsters, and then you've also got, as you said, Spider-Man Brand New Day, and the live action version of Moana. So yeah, I mean it's quite interesting. It'd be interesting to see. To date, there are over 370 Screen X auditoriums around the world in 40 countries.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. I mean, I've only just heard about it, to be fair, and obviously you mentioned the Sphere, which I would go back to Vegas in a heartbeat just to go and experience that again. And that's what I think cinemas need. They need something different. And people aren't really going to cinemas anymore because they get a bit bored. Yeah, with Screen X, I think that just it's going to immerse you so much, and it's going to be something completely different that you've not really experienced. And as they say, their tagline is "Where moments unfold." So you imagine that wrapped around your eyes, as it were, and I assume they've got Atmos in there and things like that. But yeah, I think we should go and do a trip.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find out where we do a trip to be honest, if I'm going to be like a bit offish, but I mean, I can see here that there's.
Well, if you're going to Denver, then probably you're probably in Denver or somewhere in America. But
they've got images here on their Instagram page of Minions and Moana, and they've got. I mean, they could be renders. So I'd be interested to find out where the local ones are, because their website doesn't actually say locations, or what I can see on their website.
So Manor Park, I've just clicked on Toy Story, and it's Manor Park in the US.
Right, okay.
So I do think it's more US, to be fair, but if you're over in America, then yeah, go and pay a visit, definitely, and let us know what it's like. And I assume they would be coming to the UK sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I've got, looks like you're in Warrington. I'm not. And this page is for US people only. So yeah, so
you need to get me VPN on.
Yeah, so I'm reaching out to the guys at the HomeTech.fm podcast. So Seth and the guys over there who are US and Canada based. If you could go and do us a little review and come on our podcast and tell us what it's like, that'll be phenomenal. Thank you very much. You know where to find us. Email hello@insideci.com. So the last story is with me, and it's sort of like touching on a few months ago. I went to I can't even think where it's based now, but I went to Jason's pub. Jason from Order Systems, or the owner of Order Systems. I went to his pub, and we had a day training with the Outer Labs software, and I just wanted to basically just sort of raise that a lot of people out there are doing networks. A lot of people out there are doing sort of price conscious networks, shall we say. And I was really, really, really impressed with Alter Labs when I got to have a little play with it when we did this training. And the good news is that on the 22nd of July, they're putting on another one of these events in Crewe, followed by on the 30th of July in London, and on the 26th of August in Scotland. So do go along. I mean, Jason's just sent.
So what is Auto Labs? Can you explain that to the people who don't know? Is that something about Unify, old Unify guys, isn't it?
Yeah, so Auto Labs is basically created in 2022 by a number of people from very different scenarios, but few of them were from Ubiquity. They were responsible with the Unify networks. So if you do put Unify in your client's projects, as in just the network side of it, they don't do the door entries, they don't do the CCTV side of it. It's the pure network side of it. You basically, it's a very similar product. You have sort of like the cloud hosting. You have the ability to dial into your, say dial in, we don't dial anymore, but dial into your client systems remotely, monitor remotely. And it's just a very similar but very different product, which, you know, if you're an integrator who is using that type of product, you know, I thought it fitted in really well. They've got a good range of products. Their APs, they've got a good range of APs. They're also more of a, they're going to kill me when they see me. It's more of a tic-tac shape. So they're more of a sort of, rather than a round shape, they're more of a sort of an oval sort of tic-tacky shape.
Got some more curves to it.
Yeah.
Bit more sexy.
I don't know if you have Tic Tacs in America. The Americans are probably listening now. Go, what the hell's a Tic Tac? But yeah, so it's gonna be on those 3 dates. All the information is on the Inside CI website. But do have a lot. They do have. I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called now. But they do have like a starter kit that you could buy at a discounted rate. So Jason and Damien have sent me kit here. So it's got the router in it. It's got a PoE switch in it. It's got 2 of the APs in it. And then I've also got I think I've also got a 24 port switch downstairs, and I've also got a 16 port PoE switch downstairs. Because what I'm planning on doing is I'm still building my studio, but what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on doing like a few videos of unboxing, of setting this up for them. But also I'm planning on doing one about a video of installing it in the new studios within the system, or how to set it up, why we use it, and those type of things. But I say I was really, really impressed when I saw it. And I'll be honest with you, I went along the training as a favour to Jason and to Damien, and I came away from the training thinking, if I was installing more networks, or if I still was installing networks for clients, and I didn't need the CCTV and I didn't need the door entry side of it, it's definitely a product I'd go to, because it's got a very good backbone, it's got a very good history, and it's at a very good price point.
Yeah, you get, so by what I've read and seen, you got the guys behind obviously Ubiquiti and stuff, and know what they're doing. But I also believe you make some decent margin, unlike some Ubiquiti and Unify stuff. So obviously a lot of dealers do add a bit more for installations and things like that. But when you can make some margin out of the actual products, then and they're nice and reliable and they work well, it's a big benefit for everybody, really.
Well, I think as some people, some of the integrators say, is that we've got to make margin on products, because the margin we make on products is almost counted for a few teething issues you might have. So if you've made a bit of margin on a product, and you've made obviously your margin on your labour, if you have a problem down the line, then you don't mind going back and seeing that client if they're around the corner, free of charge. Okay, I'll pop in to see you. It's probably just a such and such. Where if you're making no money on the product, you've got no support on that product within reason, and all you're making is your money on your installation, you've either got to inflate your installation price to the point that you're not then going to get the sale, or you then have got to charge a customer every time you go back to do a service call, which obviously, if that's only 2, 3, 4 months old, 6 months old, the client's like, well, I just paid you £3, £4, £5,000. Why are you charging me for a service call?
Yeah, that is a bit tricky, that's for sure. So yeah, if you don't have to do that, then that's a big bonus, and make some money out of the products itself. That's really handy.
Yeah, and also going back to our earlier comment, they have an online platform called Basecamp. So you can take the entry-level system, you can have a play with it, and you can do Basecamp. So I think I registered for it. I haven't done it yet. I think it's about an 8-hour course that you do, which takes you through the fundamentals of programming, what it's all about. But to say, on the course that I went to, which I believe these are a mirror image of that, it was pretty simple. It's if you know how to install a network, a Unify network, an Arachnus, a Ruckus, a Draytech, anything like that, this is pretty simple. So yeah, head over to the Inside CI website. Click on the news story, which at the moment is literally right at the top, and then down there you'll see a little link. Click on that link, and then you can go and register. Places are limited on a first come first serve. As I say, it's in Crewe, it's in London, and it's in Scotland. So that's it for the news we're going to talk about. But also don't forget that we have so much news on the Inside CI podcast. The Inside CI website and the Inside CI podcast. So pop over to the Inside CI website, insideci.co.uk. And on there, at the moment, for example, we have lots of stories from Monitor Audio amplifies the new Museum of Youth Culture. Senior Smart Home Awards head back to the Natural History Museum. Our friends at Cinema Lux, who obviously we did a podcast with last year, they've not only expanded into India, but they're now expanding into the UAE as well.
They are worldwide, the Cinema Lux now. I was speaking to Max about it, and it sounds really exciting.
Yeah, and I think they've just literally I apologize, can't remember the company that did it, but literally just I think they've just done their first installation out there. Someone was posting about it yesterday. And then you've also got loads of stories like Clarity Alliance boosts hi-fi retail support with Beera business backing, and even down to Shelley Group brings an intelligent leak detector and to smart building projects. So we've got so many different stories going up there almost every day. It just keeps me so busy. Also, actually, since we did this podcast last, I had quite a few people turn around to me and say, where have the AI podcasts gone? And if you've not listened to this podcast before ISE this year, I started dabbling with some like AI podcasts. So written by humans, voiced by AI. And then when I sort of took over Inside CI and we started doing this one virtually, and then I started, obviously, we were sitting down with Barry from AVA and we were sitting down with, I didn't want to sort of devalue this podcast. So literally after the CEDIA Bristol Tech Summit a few weeks ago, I sat in my Premiere in and created the Inside CI Daily podcast. So what generally happens is Steve writes up the news story, which goes on the website. I then take that news story and then put that into a piece of software that voices it. Because I did try and do a solo podcast in between the two, and it was terrible. So I can't do that.
So is the AI your voice or just a general AI?
No, it's just that I've just gone through it and obviously found a British voice and just one that, understands the words, like it understands Kaleidoscape, it understands Unify, it understands Alter Labs. So because there's thousands. I could pretty much do this podcast in every single language across the world if I wanted to. So fundamentally we've got the website, we've got the YouTube channel, and then we've got two podcasts now. We've got Inside CI Tech Talk, which is this one, the one that me and you are talking, or we're talking with people from like Brisella or AVA or AWE. And then we've got the Inside CI sort of daily podcast, which is exactly that. It's every morning, 7 a.m. There's a 2, 3, 4, 5-minute AI voiced, human read podcast just about the latest news story. So I think this morning's one was the one about Chowsoft, was the one about the SkyDriver. So I had a few people just say to me like, "Oh no, I loved it," because what I used to do was go into the whatever room I'm building, press play, put my earpods in, and it just run me through all the news that I'd not really read. And then I sort of looked at it as an ex-integrator and went, "Do you know what? Actually, yeah, that's a really good idea." So yes, we have two podcasts now.
Yeah, you could be multitasking and listen to the news at the same time, which is pretty handy. So especially some sites you've been on, and the music's being played if it's a proper building site. So get your pods in and listen to the AI inside news.
Well, that's what I always like about the days that I spent in cinemas, because I was always in the basement. Generally, no one walks through the room. At some point you could just shut the door, put a decent podcast on, and you're down there for 8 hours apart from lunch. No one disturbs you. So please have a listen. Please pop over to your website, your podcast platform of choice. Search Inside CI, and you should see both podcasts come up. So that's it for this week. But don't forget to pop over to the Inside CI website, listen to the podcast, pop over to our YouTube channel, and leave a comment on this channel, this podcast, if you've got any questions. Simon, thank you for spending the time with me tonight. Where can people find you if they're trying to find you on the internet?
So we're the website is cinema-rooms.co.uk or cinemarooms.com. So you can find us on either of those, Instagram and LinkedIn. So we generally come off the other ones, to be fair. So Instagram's our main one, and then obviously YouTube and LinkedIn. So thanks for having us. Yeah,
no worries, mate. You can find me personally across most platforms as at Mr. Stuart Burgess. Other than that, it's Inside CI. So Inside CI News or Inside CI across most platforms. You'll find us mainly on pretty much all the platforms: Instagram, Facebook. To be honest, Twitter still works really well for the brand.
Really, I got rid of Twitter and TikTok. They're out of here.
I still get quite a lot of stuff. I mean, TikTok works really well for the other podcast, the gaming podcast. But also I've started having a play with Substack, which actually, if you're the person who likes to write, you're the person who likes to do blogs and things like that, look at Substack. Substack's really good because it's a platform where you can put up daily posts like we do, but you can also write articles and blogs and just get a bit more. I suppose it's a blog website, so you can write full-on length blogs, which, if you haven't got a website, then you can put them up. Again, we're looking at doing them for the gaming podcast because I don't want to go down the route of paying for a website on a passion project. So,
no.
So for me, at Inside CI News, across for Inside CI, and at Mr. Stuart Burgess. But Simon, thank you very much for your time. I am going to go and open the door and get in my bathing trunks, and I'm going to go and get in my ice bath. There's the picture for you.
What a picture! And I'm going to go outside and get really hot and support England when we play on Saturday. So come on, England!
Yeah, hopefully the next time we pod will be in a couple of weeks. So will it be over in a couple of weeks? It will be, won't it?
It will. Yeah. England-France final.
Yeah.
Watch this space.
So if in 2 weeks, as you listen to this, in 2 weeks' time, if you go to the YouTube channel or we're on Apple Podcast Video as well, if you flick on and see Simon in an England shirt, we won. If you don't see him in an English shirt, then we know we failed.
Exactly. We won't mention it. There's always next time.
Excellent, buddy. Well, look, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for everybody who's listening or watching this, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.